Yeah, everybody, what's going on? This is Dino Wells, the next household name, here with another creative podcast. I'm really stepping my game up now when I start doing these podcasts. This is episode 7, so yeah. I'm getting good reviews on my podcast, and I'm trying to find interactive interactive, is that the word I want to use? Or now, if I'm just trying to find some different ways to keep you engaged in this, interactive could be the good word to use, but there's no way you can interact with me because you're just listening. So unless I do the chat part, but that have to be live for that. And this has been recorded now, and I'm not updating this, putting it up there until maybe an hour from now. So you can't chat with me anything. So, but anyway, I was just watching some news today, and I really don't get into the politics things. My manager don't want me to speak on politics, but I'm just getting kind of teed off, and this makes me really want to do this movie, No Words at All, because Trump and Bernie Sanders and Clinton and Rubio and all those people up there doing their thing or whatever. It's cool. They're saying they peace. They say that what they're gonna do for this country. They say this. They gonna say that. I remember Q saying that Trump is not a puppet, and Q the brand, Q the news. She's a young lady that brings good news and headlines. Go check her out. Q the news. We disagree. I mean, I agree to disagree to her about Trump as being a puppet. And Trump is being a puppet. I said trumpet. Donald Trump is being a puppet. Because I say this because, I say a lot of politicians are puppets personally, but, I'm not going to get too much on the political side of it. But the thing is, why would you want to put somebody in office, the president of this United States, that's going to cause melees and disruption in rallies? Like, I saw this video with a lot of Trump's rallies have a lot of racial tension. I mean, an abundance of racial tension. A young teenager got pushed around by a bunch of white people yelling and spitting on her and stuff. And then there's a lot of chaos. Like, if they can't control that when he gets into office, what do you think is going to happen if he makes it in become in office? Like, what the hell is that all about? Really? I mean, you want a president that's going to, or you want to have a president in office that's not going to calm that stuff down? I mean, we're trying to progress, not digress. We're not trying to fall back into the 60s and 50s. And, we're moving forward and to be one as a people, no matter what nationality, race, creed, sex, or whatever the case may be, no matter what, we're still trying to, live this American dream, this so-called American dream, Now, like I said, I'm not supporting none of them. I mean, I'm not into who's this, who's that. I just want to see this country keep rising, keep looking good, and then whoever get into the office, hope they do a good job. If Trump win, great. Hopefully he do a good job, but at the same time, don't stir up the masses or allow the masses to stir up some heated racial tension and stuff like that. That's crazy. I mean, if Rubio get into the office, if Clinton get into the office, if Sanders get into the office, I mean, hopefully they do a great job for the economy, for the rise of this nation, and we do everything to sustain as a solid country and be the greatest country on this planet. And that's it. None of all this he say, she say, finger pointing, spitting, talking shit behind each other's back and all that unnecessariness, you know what I mean? All we want is just peace and happiness. But you have certain groups of people that don't want peace. They don't want to see one race rise or whatever the case may be, or one, I don't want to even say rise, but just prosper. You know what I mean? You got people that just want to downgrade and disenfranchise, and I don't know, it's just crazy to me right now. I have children, and I want my children to grow in happiness. I don't want my children to grow through the tensions that my parents went through, or I guess they went through that, or my grandparents went through, and my grandparents went through. Like, come on, man, what kind of stuff is that? We're supposed to move forward. We're into the late 2000s, about to go into the 2020s, and then 2040s and 50s, and we're going into the space age. We're about to have flying cars and holographic TVs, and we're about to go into the Jetson type stuff right now. You want to have racism in that time too? Like, really? Come on, this is when we're supposed to really guide and bond, and supposed to really get to know each other and love each other, and just abide by the laws of the land, and just do what we're supposed to do as people. That's all. I mean, I just want peace and happiness. I don't care if you're white, Hispanic, Japanese, Korean, Italian. I don't care about none of that. As long as you're a human, you are cool people, and you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. And if you hate me, I still love you. I'm not gonna hate you because you hate me. I mean, if you hate me, whatever. I don't have that mentality anymore. See, if I was around a lot of people that's gonna hate you because you hate me, then I'm gonna eventually hate you because I'm around people that hate you. So I got to follow the masses and hate you because, but if I just open my consciousness up and say, look, you hate me, but I don't hate you, and maybe you can see something in me that you can love me, plant a seed of love, and then that you never know what can manifest from that. You never know what can grow from that. So, a lot of these racist and angry people out there, they probably have some type of love in them somewhere. I mean, they love their race, they pride their race, they were taught one thing and they grew up with that, so that's all they know. But if you just teach them peace and give them peace, then maybe peace will happen. You never know. It just depends. It's got to promote peace and happiness. And promote peace and happiness. That's all. I'm sad and hurt by that young teenager getting pushed around and spit on and yelled at and called all kind of foul and vague names and things. That hurt my heart. I'm like, wow, that's still going on today. And I'm not blind to the fact. I know there's racism, blatant racism everywhere, it's everywhere. But there are a lot of cool white people out here, man. There are cool black people out here. There's cool Latinos. There are cool Italians. There are cool Australians. There's cool people everywhere. But then you have that group of people that want to make disruption. They want to be known. They want to say, hey, I am pro this power. I'm this. You have a group of black people that's talking about black power, but on a malicious intent. You know what I mean? I don't rule and rock like that. Then you got white people that's white power and with malicious intent, and I don't rock like that. But then you have people that just want to be peace and just live peace and happiness. Peace and happiness. That's what it's all about. Now, I'm going to take a little commercial break. I get to do a break this time. And you get to hear one of my songs called Rise of the Moon, Sun, Star. You have the Rise of Happiness. So Rise of the Moon, Sun, Star. And I will be right back. Hi everybody, I'm back. So that was Rise of the Moon, Sun, Star. That wasn't the whole thing. I just want to play a little excerpt of it anyway. That's my joints. I did that. I made that with the Music Maker Jam. So I have hundreds and hundreds of tracks that I make on that. I am known as Dr. Trackenstein. Yeah, Dr. Trackenstein. So you can catch all my tracks on Music Maker Jam at Dr. Trackenstein. You'll see it there. So it's a great a platform or app to make some good music. You had to probably buy a lot of the extra loops that they have. It's $3.49 per loop package, but it's worth it. You get some free downloads. You get, I think, like a couple of downloads for free to make you some starter tracks, and then you have to invest in buying the rest of the loops. And they have a bunch of them in different genres of music, from reggae to jazz to classical to there's all kind of music, movie themes, different types. And the thing is, you own your own stuff. You make it, it's yours. Now, if you want to make money off it, you have to sign some agreement and get the track. I guess you own the track, it's yours, but then at the same time, there's some things where you have to sign some information where you can get monetary value from your tracks that you make. But you have to look at the disclaimer and the rules of Music Maker Jam for that. So I'm not making any money off none of my tracks. I'm just using it for people to listen to and enjoy, And there's a lot of good music on there. So you can do R&B, hip hop, country, jazz, rock, hard rock, southern music, anything. It's all type of loops and packages there that you can buy for $3.49. Then they have some on discount for $2 and so many cents, $2.39, something like that. So it is good. I like it. If you have $50, you can buy you a bunch of loops, a bunch of packages, styles, I should say. You buy a bunch of styles and just run with it and enjoy it. Mix them and make what you like out of them. I mean, I like it. Music Maker Jam. They even helped me with a little glitch that they had in the system at one point. They work with you real fast. They contact you via email, via Twitter. Yeah, I like them. I have nothing to say. I have nothing bad to say about Music Maker Jam. They fixed the little glitch for me, and it's awesome. Anyway, with that being said, let me go to some more topics. I think I was talking about just us and love, peace, and happiness. I just think we just have to have, in order for this to be a great nation, we don't want our nation to fall and turn into a third world country with just a lot of inner civil war going on because of race wars and political wars or foolishness. It's just crazy to me, But it's been going on for decades and decades at a time, and it's not going to change overnight. It just takes a lot of people with like minds of peace and happiness, and just want to see everybody make it and live life and raise your family and go to a nice school and just do good things and work. If you are, high class with all the good money, try to help out the lower class. At least give them a little bit, not give them, but give them the resources so they can move themselves up to a middle class status, And of course, they're going to have the lower class status as set in their ways that don't want to do anything but just live off the system, which is crazy, And that living off the system thing, I think people say they are a waste of human, but I don't think they're a waste of human. They just misguided and don't understand certain things about life, and it comes from their upbringing. So if you came up in an upbringing of poverty, and then you come out of poverty, like I was raised in poverty. I wasn't raised, like I said in previous podcasts, I wasn't raised with a silver spoon in my mouth. So, and I never seen a lot of legitimate money. That was a lot of money. TJ Maxx was the best job I ever had in my entire life. That was the most money I ever made, was working on TJ Maxx. But at that same time, that money, I should say, that money I made off of TJ Maxx, I kind of blew it a little bit, because it was the most money I ever made, and I really didn't have the mind structure to save money like I was supposed to, instead of splurging. Like even when I was boxing, and when in 1996, I was supposed to have turned pro in '96 after I didn't make the Olympics, and I had people coming after me, offering me contracts and offering me to sign with them and stuff like that. And then I had one contract of $250,000 sitting on the table. Guy treated me with massages, they had these masseuse, the sexy masseuse, that massaging me every day, stayed in the penthouse. I was eating at fine restaurants, going places, and every morning that contract would sit on the table with a pen, and I look at the contract of $250,000, and I'm like, man, I know me in my mind. If I take that money, I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna either go buy some drugs with it and sell it, or I'm gonna just blow it all off, and I'm not gonna, at that time I was smart, but I wasn't that smart. But I just didn't want to take that money, and I know that I wasn't mentally ready for it. Physically, for boxing, to turn pro, I was ready physically, but mentally I wasn't ready. That's why I never turned pro in '96. And I stepped away from boxing and took this hard road journey where I'm at today. And it was a hard road journey to get to where I'm at now. And I'm still not where I want to be. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm letting the world know that, hey, I'm someone that's out there. I'm a peaceful guy, humble, want to help people as much as they want to be helped. I want to guide people to show them there's a way to make it instead of doing negativity. Although I've learned through the hard roads of my life, and I had nothing but negativity around me. But I didn't get sucked up into that negative lifestyle. I lived it for a minute and got away from it, and now I'm just focusing and moving on forward. I just want people just to understand, look, you can, if you change your mindset, it's all about your mind. If you change your mindset and just focus on you, your family, all the good people around you, and you can build the legacy, You can build the legacy. You can build an empire of greatness and keep bringing good people around you and helping people that want to be helped. If it's just knowledge, and now you don't have to help them financially, giving somebody knowledge. A seed of knowledge can go a long way. A seed of knowledge can go a long way. That's why I keep teaching and instilling in my boys. They act like they know it all sometimes. Or they 14 and 13 years old, been on this earth, and they just now scratching the surface of life, and they knowing things because now the internet is around. I didn't have the internet when I was young, so I had to really go out and learn shit from other people and shit that I see. But the internet is right there at the palm of their hand, so they can see everything via YouTube, Kick, and Twitter, Facebook, and all that other shit that I never had when I was a kid. So they get to see the world through their phone or laptop or tablets, you know what I'm saying? And they get this perception of life from other people's eyes via the internet. And sometimes that's fucked up. When you trying to teach your child one thing, but they getting fed other shit via the internet. You know what I'm saying? When like some of that shit is good, some of that shit is real, some of the shit is not real. This is what life really is, not that shit you seen on the internet. Now, some of the stuff on the internet, like I said, is some real deep, hard shit. But then a lot of that shit is fucking foolishness and dumb, And I got to teach them, my boys, like, you got to use your mind, common sense, and then grow forward, move forward. Like, I got to teach them, my boys, I'm in their life, the latter part of in the beginning part of their teen years, which they really need me there for that. And I'm going to help guide them. But, of course, they're going to make their mistakes. They're going to fall. They're going to stumble, but I'm not going to see them fall to the ground and turn to a thug and run the streets and fuck their whole life up. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to allow that to happen because I'm going to steer them in the right way. Now, I feel like if I wasn't in their life, not disrespecting their moms or nothing, but if I wasn't in their life, they probably wouldn't went astray, did some other shit, been mad. Like I said in my last podcast, that I didn't want them to make the same mistakes I made, being mad and resenting me and then taking the anger out on the world. because I wasn't in their life. You know what I mean? So all the shit that's being fed to them via the internet, the phones, and all that shit like that, I try to. I don't like censoring shit that they see because they gotta see it themselves. They gotta use their common sense. Like I said, they're 14 and 13 years old. My daughter's 19, so it's kind of late. It's never too late, but for her and I've been out of most of her life, so but we still bonding and building, and I can teach her and guide her certain ways. But she already made the one ultimate mistake already, is having a baby at 19. Although it's cool that I have a grandchild and everything, and I love my grandchild. I can't wait to meet her and see her and hold her and spoil her and things. But at the same time, I feel that she just would have waited and had that child in her 20s when she had her life more established. Then that would have been great. But now she had the child and she's with the dude. It's whatever. It is what it is. But if I was more in her life and the guidance and being there, I feel that epic fail would never happen. But it happened, and we just move on and move forward. I was mad for like 2 seconds when I found out she was pregnant. Like 2 seconds I was mad. Like, damn, she's pregnant. That's fucked up. That's messed all up. Well, that was a little bit more than 2 seconds. That was like 6 seconds. But at the same time, I was still pissed. And then I got over it because that's her life. But now I don't want her to make the same mistakes her mom made, and I don't want her to make the same mistakes that I made. You know what I mean? And I want her to move forward with her life. Just like my boys. They interested in sex and girls and, or whatever they're into, whatever the case may be. At the same time, I'm teaching them, lady, keep that dick, keep your dick in your pants. And if you decide to go out there and want to do your thing, fucking strap up. You know what I mean? Because, it's human nature. Anyway, that's besides all of that. I think I had to go to another break. Another good break, right? We got to do these breaks. And I have another good song I want to throw in. It's called Chasing Dreams. And that's another track that I made with Music Maker Jam. And I think you will like it. I don't know. You let me know if you like it or not. Chasing Dreams. All right, that was a little snippet of Chasing Dreams, another track I made with Music Maker Jam. All my music I make is with Music Maker Jam. I dabbled in music in the past, used Fruity Loops and Acid Pro, Sonic Foundry, and all that stuff back in the days, when I was trying to dabble in music. And I still have the love for music, and making music is a hobby to me. So my intro songs, all the intro songs I have on my podcast now, they're all made by me through Music Maker Jam. And I know I'm keep promoting Music Maker Jam, but hey, I made it with Music Maker Jam. I love Music Maker Jam. It's the best music making app out there. I like it. I love it. I like it and love it, for a lot of different reasons. And when I'm feeling like I'm in a mood some type of way, I just get on there and I make me a little track. I make them for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, depends. I have a different series of different genres of music on there, and that's what I do. I sit there and I make me a little track. So that's what's that. That's what's that. That's that. I even have a theme for myself, and I guess I could throw that out there too. It's called a Lethal Warriors theme. That's my theme for my training. So I use when I work out. I use, because I am the Lethal Warrior from When the Bell Rings. I was Lethal Warrior, known as Lethal Warrior in the 90s for my record, 67-13 with 36 or 37, 38. I don't know how many KOs I had. I know it's over 30 KOs. I was a good amateur. I was above good. I was great. I just allowed a lot of stuff to take me away from boxing. But this is the Lethal Warriors thing right here. Let me know what you think about this one. And that was a snippet of the Lethal Warriors theme. So I want to take this time to give shout outs to some key people that, that keeps me going, keeps me focused, keep my mind focused, keep me on the straight to the stars. And I want to give a big shout out to Trish Jackson, the woman of my life. I want to give a shout out to Kiki Richardson and the Playing Devil's Advocate family. They're awesome. I want to give a shout out to Rodney Perry. I want to give a shout out to my manager, Kaija. I want to give a shout out to Beauty Bubble for all her love and support. Q the Brand, Moon Shadow. I want to give a shout out to Pamela Gomez. I want to give a shout out to Darnley Edgehill, my best friend. I want to give a shout out to Nicole Snedeker, my crush from elementary school. And I want to give a shout out to her family. They're very inspiring as well. I want to give a shout out to Julian Mallory, Carl Hill. I want to give a shout out to William Brown, my boy Jay in Chicago, cousin Man Man. I want to give a shout out to everyone that's doing positive and good things in life. I want to give a shout out to Trish over there in Australia. I want to give a shout out to Rebellious Boxing, and Lester Ellis and Sophie Zamet and the whole Rebellious Boxing and Auto Rehab team. I want to give a shout out to them. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Montel Griffin. I want to give a shout out to all the trainers: Spider, Hemfield, Henry Wade, and Bob Edwards. I want to give a shout out to everybody who helped me out along this journey. People who helped me out, the couches I stayed on when I was homeless. I want to give a shout out to the rescue mission over there in Skid Row for even having a bed for me from when I was homeless. I want to give a shout out to, everyone that's just doing positive. My children, I want to give a shout out to their moms for, just being them and just at least having a time to be in my life, I want to give a shout out to Music Maker Jam for having that app for me to release some of my anger or when I'm mad and when I'm feeling down and out. That's just there for me to work on that, just to ease my mind and calm my soul doing the trials and error and tribulations of my life. I want to give a shout out to Lance Nichols and Zardis Nichols, my acting coach and his wife. Shout out to Tanya Kersey for her guidance and her belief in me through these years, being my career coach. She's about that money though. I want to give a shout out to, everyone that's doing good things. That's all I want to say. And, this is a good thing. I love this Spreaker. I want to give a shout out to Leland Best and the Spreaker team. They're awesome, because this is a good platform. I like this, This is a good thing. I love this. I want to shout out to my Twitter, social media, Facebook family. I want to shout out to the CEO of Facebook, Mark. I want to meet him. I want to meet him and shake his hand and be like, man, look at me. One day I'm going to be on your level and we can sit down and have coffee or a latte and fly to Dubai and just chill, because I'm going to be on that level real soon, I'm going to be on that level. I want y'all to check out No Words at All. It's my movie coming out. I'm doing a crowdfunding campaign through Kickstarter, which is going to launch, April 1st. And it's going to launch for 60 days. I have a movie that's coming out called Same Kind of Different as Me that I am acting in. It's not my movie, but it's a movie that I'm acting in with the starring Greg Kinnear, Renee Zellweger, and Jaimin Hansu. And I play a character named Mr. in that. That comes out April 29th. Well, it says on their IMDb April 29th, but I hadn't seen any promotions for it yet. But that's coming out. Then look out for No Words at All. When the Bell Rings, my documentary is on Amazon, iTunes, Vimeo on demand, in all the video on demand platforms. You can check that out. It's my documentary. It's 4-time award winning. It's about my return to boxing at the age of 40. And it's very compelling. It's a little bit more than boxing though. It digs into my journey on my comeback. I am writing a book called Hood View Mirror, The Misunderstandings of Dino Wells. That should be coming out soon. I just gotta keep tweaking that up first before I can get it out there. But I'm letting you know that Hood View Mirror, The Misunderstandings of Dino Wells is a detailed book about my life. Talks about everything from birth to, current times. So that's going to be a great one. And hopefully that'll get a movie deal out of it, because I believe my life story, it should be a movie. Like my documentary is successful, I think my movie will be too as well. So, all right. I will thank y'all very much for listening. Like I said, I'm only going to get better and better. It has to. So, and I have outro music as well. So check out the outro song. Thank you for the love. Catch me on all my social media, all the social media platforms. I'm there. Well, majority of them, that is, the main ones. If you don't want to look And you can go to www.itsmyurls.com/Dino Wells. All my URLs that I'm a part of is there. You can find it there. And if you don't want to do that, just at Dino Wells on Twitter, Dino Wells on Facebook, Dino_Wells on Instagram and Snapchat, and Mr. Dino Wells on YouTube. I'm all over the place, you know. I just want to just get out there and let the world know who I am and see that I just want to make good movies. I want to act in good movies. I want to bring y'all good movies and just tell great stories. My genre is drama and suspense thrillers, and it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful journey. All right, with that being said, y'all have a wonderful time. Enjoy your day, and here's the outro music.